So I made myself this little soy ice latte here, using some caffeine-free instant coffee that I found at Penny, because I don't have a coffee machine and I don't really know how to make good coffee yet. Not saying that instant coffee is good coffee. Isn't good coffee just coffee that you're enjoying? And I'm very much enjoying this. The reason we're all gathered here today is my pantry. It is a problem. I've been procrastinating on this for way too long. Today is the day. We're gonna do it. We're gonna clean. By we, I mean me. I'm gonna clean this and organize it and maybe try to find the right system that works for me and will allow me to just live my life and not have to take ages to find certain ingredients or purchase things that I already have. Maybe you can get some good cleaning inspiration, some organization motivation from this. Hopefully, because making this video really motivates me to actually do this now. So it's a win-win situation, I would say. Okay, so first off, I took to the World Wide Web for some pantry inspo. You know, scouring mom blogs, Pinterest, Google Images. I gotta say, this didn't really help boost the little confidence I had for this to begin with. Anyway, this search did make me realize though that all I needed was to find a home for everything basically. A couple months ago, I tried to sort of half-ass organize it, and the result we can see here. Things aren't where they're supposed to be. I mean, like I said, most things don't have a home to begin with, and worst of all, lots of items are just hanging around, open somewhere. Very, very bad.
Very bad. Very, very bad.
Needless to say, it's also not the cleanest. Okay, so step one here is to just take out all of the things, placing them on my countertop, getting an overview of what's in this. My everything bagel seasoning jar, I was looking for that. It's empty now, but I'm still holding onto the jar because it's cute and I want to make my own blend sometime soon. This part was kind of fun actually. It really became a trip down memory lane. For instance, I found the muffin liners / ice cream cups from the Olivia Rodrigo recipe, the licorice snake from the Percy Jackson video, this weird thermometer from the candied apples Manskin recipe. This bread I bought at a supermarket in Venice a couple months ago. It's vacuum sealed, so still good to eat until November. Step 2 would be cleaning out the cupboard, disinfecting it, wiping it down, getting into every corner here. Now I'm gonna sift through these and see if there's anything that I have to throw away. I then unloaded and cleaned out my few containers. This spice box here was probably the one and only sort of organized thing. It's still way too small though. At this point, I was losing faith in myself a little. Everything had already taken so much longer than I thought it would. I need to write some stuff down. I feel like I'm not quite sure how to proceed. So I sat down, wrote a list with all the ingredients I wanted to group together and how many boxes and jars I would need to make that happen. I didn't have enough jars or boxes, so off to Rossmann I went. Their jar selection was pretty underwhelming, I have to say, but I got some nice boxes from there and some rubber bands. Plus I picked up a pumpkin on my way back. A pumpkin video is coming very soon, by the way. Then I got back into it. I felt motivated again. I put on my favorite comfort podcast. So everything I either tied up tightly with the rubber bands or put it into jars. That's the thing, jars don't just look aesthetically pleasing, but they also protect your food the best when it comes to my biggest fear of all of the fears, food bugs. I was somehow pretty lucky with bugs that day, but oh my god, they're worst case scenario. I'm already cringing just thinking about them. I only used jars where it made sense for me. I didn't have that many, and they do take up quite a bit of space. Maybe in my next apartment, I'll get to have one of those dream pantries where every little thing has a jar for it. But for now, this is what I'm working with, and that's okay. I still lost my mind slightly during this last bit. All the spices I use on a regular basis, like chili, turmeric, salt. Wait, is salt a spice or is it its own thing? Anyway, like all the things that I use on a daily basis, like oats, salt, spices, like specific spices, I don't mind keeping those on the countertop. Nuts, seeds, and superfoods, I decided to put on these two shelves here, the superfoods being on top, because I rarely use those. And then this is what we're left with. Not very Pinterest worthy, but I'm still super happy with it. I'm gonna try my best to keep this intact, like maybe give you guys a little update in a couple weeks or so to keep myself accountable. So from left to right, we've got spice box number 1, spice box number 2, muesli items that aren't nuts or seeds, nut butters, oil and vinegar. Down in the back, there's flour and sugar. More baking items. Within this container, I made sure to group together smaller items like yeast, vanilla, food coloring, baking powder, etc. We got a box for grains, a box filled with snacks, the rubber bands that literally saved me here, the protein powders I use the most, a box of legumes, one just dedicated to pasta, and this is where I would place like tomato sauces. You know what? I challenge you to clean and organize your pantry as well, and to post a before and after picture on your Instagram story. Also, please tag me. I want to see it. Or if you've got an already super organized pantry, then feel free to flex and tag me. Also, I'd love to see it. Thank you so much for watching this weird little video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!